For those of you that have been with me for the last week or so, you might have to work a little harder today to follow my thought process. And for that, I'm going to apologize ahead of time. The first thought is a correlation between Simon Peter back in chapter 6 and the centurion at the beginning of chapter 7. Both men approached Jesus saying that they're unworthy. They don't feel worthy of being in Jesus' presence. And that approach or that mindset seems to resonate positively with Jesus. So maybe that's something that we should keep in mind for ourselves, that none of us are truly worthy of the help or the acceptance or the love that Jesus has to give, even though he gives us all three on a fairly constant basis. And in fact, there is a scene during one of the episodes of season 2 of The Chosen between Mary and Jesus that talks about Mary not being worthy enough of Jesus's acceptance and love and help. And well, I don't want to give anything away, but if you haven't watched The Chosen yet, do. The second thing was regarding the widow that lost her son. She was not seeking an audience with Jesus. She wasn't asking for a miracle, looking for a miracle. She was sad. And Jesus sought her out and found her and gave her compassion for, her pain and her situation. And my thoughts were led that these stories perhaps reference back to chapter 6, where Jesus talks about the poor, the hungry, the weeping, and the hated. And the reason being is that later in the chapter, Jesus refers to John the Baptist being the greatest prophet up until that time. But now that Jesus was here, it was going to be the least that were the greatest. So could that possibly be referencing or be pointing towards the poorest and the hungriest and the saddest and the most downtrodden? When you look at the parable that Jesus gives at the end of the chapter about the two debtors, one owing a lot, one owing a little, both of them being forgiven, maybe there's something to it. What do you think? The Gospel of Luke Christmas Reading Challenge. Tomorrow is day 8. Hope you come back and maybe bring a friend.